Holy broccoli. It is time for more engaged maddening.
Ah,
But first I gotta do a little forging, then we're gonna get these DLC maps going. Oh wait, this isn't forging. Here we go, here's the smithy. Might be all the forging we're doing, because that was a lot of our steel. Oh, we can get the armor slayer up to +2. I like putting a few points into these special weapons, just because like every point of might you get on them is functionally like 3 points of might, because the only time you use them is when it's tripled. Did I cook already? I think I did. But let me check.
Welcome.
Alright, it is time to go unlock Hector. And hear that bangin' FE7 music. I think Hector is down. He might be right. Maybe he's right. That looks like that building might be it. Yeah, it is. Cool. So some emblem ring swapping. I think I'm gonna do... I think I'll leave Marth on Chloe for one more chapter. And then I think I'm gonna switch it on to somebody else. Because she's starting to get snowballed on experience, which is why we have Marth on her. As for emblem rings that we need to change... See, we just got Tiki.
Tiki! I'll do my best.
Let's throw that on Anna. See if she can level up for a bit without Micaiah now that she's level 12. And then who gets Micaiah instead? Let me see how many units I get to bring to this chapter. I'm not actually sure. I think it's 8. I think I get 8 deployments. I'm El Pots and Pans. My day has been good. Hope your day's been good too.
There's another bracelet friend right over here.
Another bracelet friend.
You're right. Is this the bracelet of the brash general?
Yes. I think the emblem is asleep, just as I was. Will you wake him up?
The words came to me as soon as I laid eyes on it. Let's give them a try.
Here comes the boy.
Embolden us, emblem of strength.
There he is.
ah, what a refreshing rest.
I love the voice actor they picked for him.
Was it you
So
who woke me
deep.
up?
Yes, it was. Greetings, Hector. I'm the Divine Dragon.
There he is, Gary. Hi, Ross.
Ooh, sure is nice to move around again. You must have had a reason to come looking for me, though.
This world is engulfed in a terrible war. We're trying to put a stop to it. To that end, we were hoping you might lend us your strength.
Well, I've got a good feeling about you. Looks like you've got grit, just like he.
Bro, it's a good thing that we're good guys, because these emblem rings will go with anybody.
Good friend Eliwood. In my world, he fought to bring us back
Like,
from the brink
anybody
of
that's decent at fighting can get an emblem ring.
our fighters against a rotten
Well,
bunch
and
called
can
the
summon
Black
them, so they
Fang.
do have to be a dragon.
Real handful. For Eliwood, Lynn,
But we could be a bad
and all our
dragon, he
other
doesn't
friends,
know.
It was the fight of our lives.
They must have been glad to have someone like you on their side.
Ahem. Well, no need to butter me up. You need help, that's enough for me. But first, let's have ourselves a friendly little competition.
What do you mean?
It's been a while since I've seen any action. I want to get the measure of you in battle.
I understand. If that's what you want, then I'm ready to show you what I can do.
It's settled then. Brace yourself.
If we were a bad dragon, he'd obviously be red. We're half red. Okay. So let's see, how many units do we get to bring? This amount is fine. Who do we want to give Micaiah to? Throw it on Alchrist would be fine. This is the first time I'm doing a whole playthrough with the DLC. I played through the maps on an endgame save when the DLC came out, but this will be my first time doing a whole playthrough. Or maybe we should just keep Micaiah on her for now, because I think she's the one that benefits most from it at the moment. And then who gets Tiki for now? Give it to Lapis. Show Lapis a little favoritism. And we'll just put Leaf on Alchrist so that Leaf is on somebody. I'm considering these maps Alchrist's tryout for the team. And Etier's prove yourself moment. I was looking at the stats, and her speed is really struggling. Her speed is normally bad, but she's like 2 points under average for this level.
Let's get started. Come at me and don't hold back.
So I might switch her for Alchrist, depending on how they look at the end of this DLC. Because I believe I'm going to field both of them for all three maps.
Be on your guard.
Other interesting findings from comparing to averages. Chloe is 2 points up on strength, even, you know, subtracting the energy ring we gave her. Or energy drop. And Citrine is like 5 points behind on speed, which is not great.
An invitation?
Your orders, please.
Well, Alchrist has better stats at base, but he's not supposed to be quite as much better as he is. Like, that's part of why Etier was getting doubled a lot more than I was expecting, is because her speed is a little yikes. Even though she does get doubled by a lot of stuff, even at her averages, but
Here I go. I'll do
she's
it.
doing even a little worse than normal, which is not ideal. Or actually, we don't need to transform her. She could take guy normally, probably.
Whatever you ask.
I'm gonna readjust my positioning. I don't know why I didn't do that. Yeah, I know Eddie is bad in general. I was hoping to use her a little bit, but I think her below average speed is making her even struggle a little more than she usually does. We can have these two fly over and fight these guys. Yeah, this formation is preferred.
Let's get started.
I can fight.
We're comparing the RNG stats to averages.
I'm listening.
The FE combat math system is largely the same. Each game usually has its own little quirks, but but it's not that different than it used to be.
I'm at 100%.
Let's see. Yeah, there have been a couple games where there's been some quirks, like in Echoes, the doubling threshold is 1. I think that's Echoes, where the doubling threshold is 1. But it stayed largely the same over time. You have 21 on 20 speed, so you're not getting doubled by anything. 28. Okay, so yeah, she can take both if she needs to.
Very well.
Citrine here.
Let us be off.
Whee! I actually want to bring him over here. Is there any real value to doing this besides that it's kind of fun? Not really. You're gonna have him come deal with this dagger guy though. Bruh. So sad. Actually, I shouldn't bruh. That wasn't that high of it, right? Can't be mad about missing a 60.
As you wish.
Oh yeah, weapon triangle has changed a few times. We didn't have it at all in the last game. Although it felt like we did in Maddening, because everybody just had the associated breaker skill. Yeah, and then in this one we have the we just have the break system. How do you guys feel about the break system? Is it a positive or a negative for y'all? Killer Lance. Or one of these fracture fellas. You think you also gain some hit? You might get a little bit of hit. I'm not totally sure. I would have to check. See, break is a strong player phase mechanic. Sucks that Maddening made bosses immune. Yeah, it is a little weird that they were like, here's the weapon triangle mechanic. It just doesn't work on bosses. I think break ended up being way more impactful on player phase. Like, I don't really worry about it on enemy phase, but on player phase I do care about it. That's a good take, Silver Alethea. I haven't really thought about how it helps you train up weaker units, but it definitely does. Okay, good. I was like, did I just put Citrine in death range? But I did not. Gotta love heavy weapons. Yeah, I get why they did that, the putting veteran plus and the putting veteran plus on everything, because I understand from their perspective it's like probably hard to make a flying boss if the player's always going to be able to just murk them with a bow. So I get why they were trying to avoid that. But it does feel a little frustrating at times. Oh, you're not Tiki. You're Tiki. Yeah, we'll send a few units up there. I heard Three Houses was broken. Yeah, Three Houses Maddening is something else. I don't know if I would describe it as broken so much as goofy. In part 2, you just warp skip like everything in Three Houses, which ends up feeling a little silly, in my opinion. The first half of Three Houses is more interesting, because before you can just supercharge warp a unit, Three Houses is a lot more interesting, I think. But eventually you do get to the point where you can just warp literally everything. Chloe take these guys out, no problem. Just clear poison off. That one guy has crit, but it's only like 20% chance on, I think, 15% hit, so I'm not overly stressed about it. Yeah, archers feel pretty good in this game. There's just a lot of flyers around. And also it helps that warrior is good in this game. So that's a great class for bow users to go into where it addresses a lot of their issues. Or at least a lot of the issues typically associated with armor knights, or with archers. Armor knights have their own problems that are addressed in this game, kind of. Archers have had a few games where they're really good, though. Archers are really good in Gaiden. Archers have value in Fire Emblem 6. I don't know if I would say they're really good, but, you know, you use them and they're valuable. Did I notice the chunky belly? Oh no, I forgot to turn animations back on to see it. Here, we're gonna throw the animations on so we can see the chunky belly. Also, do you guys generally prefer animations or no animations? I turned them off because I realized it was making the maps take a really long time, but happy to keep them on if you guys like the animations.
Whatever you ask.
Chloe in the early game is disgusting.
I'm ready to begin.
Yeah, tier 3 FE10 archers could be good. Alright, if some of you guys like the animations and some of you have no preference, then we'll leave the animations on. I certainly don't mind them.
won't let you do what you want.
Yeah, the Luna build on Alchrist is interesting. I'm going to be talking about it quite a bit in an upcoming video, I think. I think the Luna build... I mean, we'll see. Maybe we'll use it in this playthrough if we end up switching Alchrist for Eddie. But my perception of the Luna build, having used it once and looking at the stats and seeing other people use it, is that I think it just takes too long to become consistent. Like, he does eventually proc it all the time. Like, eventually you get to the point where his dex is really high, and you fixed his speed so that he's doubling everything. And he has a Brave Bow, so he's quadding everything. And then it's really good, right? But I think it takes a significant amount of time to get to that point, and it's not the best until that happens. Although I agree that up until that happens, sometimes you do just get random Lunas while you're doing chip damage, and that is helpful. Alright, we're gonna pay attention to the chunky belly.
I'm getting sleepy.
He does have a chunky belly. I'm glad we watched that. Yeah, I agree that Alchrist can just, like, do the job of killing flyers, right? But the thing is, so many units can do that. Like, if you just want your archer to kill flyers as needed, there's, like, a ton of options that can do that. How much damage do you do? Are you going to finish with a backup attack or no? Probably not. I think the backup attack is going to do 4 damage. Okay, we can get it with a backup attack if we activate our emblem. But I always think, I think it's a little funny that whenever people talk about Etier, the, like, comparison unit is always Alchrist. Like, whenever people talk about whether Etier is good, they're always like, this is how she compares to Alchrist. But to me, the real point of comparison is, like, all of the pre-promotes that you can just shift into Warrior, right? Like, even if Alchrist were bad, Etier still wouldn't be good, because there's, like, a bunch of other units that you can just make Warriors. I don't need to carry this Slim Lance around. I don't need to carry a torch around either, but...
I won't let you do what you want.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know that is why people make the comparison, for sure. It's just that they're both an archer at base, but... I think, people should, like, be more open to some of the other comparisons. Because I don't think the Alchrist one is, even necessarily the most important one. Or we can just use Lodestar, since she's gonna time out in a second anyway.
My prayers are with you. I live to fight again.
I've been using Etier because of my Benchwarmers run. Why did I do this to myself? You know, she can do the archer thing. Like, she does do the whole, like, killing flyers thing, which is that's the main thing you need your archer to do, right? She can do that competently. Oh, maybe I should have, moved Lizard down to help our boys down there, because I just realized I left 2 archers and a, Warrior has a better thing than Luna, though. Backup. I really think just having backup is better than Luna until the very end of the game, when you can proc it consistently on a Brave Bow. Yeah, we can send these guys down to deal with the reinforcements. Oh, these guys should be able to deal with the first two okay, I think. But we'll move them to where they can get away if they need to. Yes, Get Behind is part of why I think Alchrist compares pretty favorably to Etier, because when you get Alchrist, like, if you have Etier at the same level, which you might not, the strength gap is like 2.5. So, you know, depending, if you're playing on random, depending on your luck, it'll be 2 or 3. And then, but like with Get Behind Me, that's nothing. So you're really relying on like her growing in the future to make that trade-off worthwhile. I'm gonna back these guys up a bit. I think they need some help with these reinforcements. You can put Lucina on to get the backup attack, but you could do that with anybody, right? Like, there are other people that also want that emblem. I was gonna have these guys go up and get that chest, but I think I'm kind of just gonna have Chloe solo the top of the map.
Simple enough.
Yeah, I'm not saying the Alchrist Luna build is bad. I just think it comes on in the late game. I think people talk about it like it's immediately good, or immediately amazing, and I think it takes a little longer before it's amazing.
Where to?
Awkward. Alright, Louis, do your tanking thing. Wind God, Claude, Warrior Ana. Amazing. We're going to be doing Warrior Ana this playthrough. I am a believer in Warrior Ana. Here, I'm going to reset my Marth emblem here, and then I'll kill this guy with the rapier next turn. Sure, Alchrist, give him the quad hit.
This is my fight. I see you.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of people that can make use of Lucina. Basically, anyone that's not a backup unit can make a case for it. Even, I think, interestingly, I think Ivy can make a case for Lucina. I think everybody assumes that, like, you have to put Lyn on Ivy, but you can always just inherit Speed Taker and Speed Plus, or you can inherit Speed Taker and then throw Lucina on her, which gives Speed and Dex, which are the main things that Ivy wants. And I think that works pretty well. Glad I checked that guy had a hammer. Hi, Tiered Master. I'm glad you like the layout. The same person that made the lizard made the layout. Hey, Undead Necromancer, how you doing today? Clearly you just have the Dancer become a backup unit. True, throw Dual Assist Plus on there. Free damage. Yes, it definitely takes you a while to get Speed Taker on Ivy, but I think if you do, I think once you do, I don't think she needs Ivy anymore.
I'm prepared.
Yes, I also like that non-mounted units feel a bit better in this game. For sure. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with Lyn on Ivy. But I do think you can just get her Speed Taker and take her off as well. What we will do in this playthrough, we'll see. I have not decided who's getting Lyn long-term yet. Also, I split my army up way too much on this map. I did not need to do that as much as I did. And now I am paying the consequences of having to deal with these reinforcements in the way that I am. Make sure you're not, like, you don't do any damage, right? Yeah. I put Lyn on Alchrist for the 20 range Astra Storm. Lyn on Alchrist is pretty fun because you're pretty much, I mean, it's not a guarantee, but you're very likely to get Luna, which is pretty funny. I kind of like Lyn on Panette, because Panette's strength is just so bonkers that you can just use Astra Storm and kill anybody. Plus Speed Taker can eventually get her doubling, which is nice. I think if you want to make the Luna build happen, you do want to get Alchrist more speed. He does not quad everything with a he does not quad everything with a Brave Bow at base.
I won't let this go to my head.
Yeah, Ike definitely works well on Panette, but I think the main thing Panette wants from Ike is just Wrath.
I'll manage. I won't falter. I won't forget you.
Is Get Behind Me flat damage or a strength adjustment? I think it's a strength adjustment, but let me check. Where is he? Where are you, buddy? Yeah, it's a strength adjustment. Just thinking about the fourth wave of DLC, there's no extra spots in the paralog map, so I wonder if it'll give an alternate story. I think it's gonna be like a post-game story thing, is what it looked like to me. The bulk from Lagoo's friend is nice, although I think once you get to the late game and you're like doing the whole Vantage Wrath thing, I think it's a little less important. But you're right, she does appreciate it for most of the game. Or really, she appreciates it for all of the game, but it's like very important at the beginning.
All right. That was a fierce battle.
But Panette's awesome. You can make Panette work with a lot of things. Turns out having high strength is good. Surprise, it's good to do a lot of damage. Actually, do you need to transform to kill? Yeah, you do. Should have you kill this one. Oh, are you guys using... Ah, you have 11 sword. Ho ho! I can kill you without using my engage.
Who's next?
Lapis strength level up! Woo! I was kind of surprised Hector didn't have dialogue with Roy. Or Soren and Micaiah. Lapis magic level. That's true. Just wait until late game when we change Lapis to a Sage. Then we'll really be gaming. Yeah, I will say the visual design in this game is something I like a lot better than Three Houses. I enjoy the kind of the brighter color palette. I like a colorful Fire Emblem game. Yeah, they didn't do great with Micaiah's character. I would also say they didn't do well with Erika's. Which is disappointing to me as a big Sacred Stones fan. Hi, Just Chica. Yeah, I agree. This game is very pretty. Dawn Engrave on shielding art with Seedall is good. I could see that. Yeah, I will say, I know I talk bad about Three Houses all the time because I'm always saying, like, the things I like in this game that I don't like in Three Houses. But I love Three Houses, to be clear. I like that game a lot.
Say the word.
Chloe casually taking out the entire top half of the map, by the way. Ephraim is a cryptid, the rare creature you occasionally see on the edge of the camera. See, but I feel like, at first I was disappointed that they did Ephraim like that, but then I was like, you know what? Ephraim probably loves being a guy that doesn't have to talk and just gets to fight all the time. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed the videos, Just Chica. I'll have a new one for you this weekend. The world building in Three Houses, I think, is probably the best the series has ever had. Only exception might be, like, Fire Emblem 4 and 5 had pretty good world building. Yeah, poor Erica. I was so excited when they said that Erica was going to be the ring, because she's one of my favorite Fire Emblem lords. And I'm still glad she's in the game. I just wish the character doesn't quite feel right to me. I liked Three Hopes so much more than I was expecting to. Because I thought the first Warriors game was just alright. I was like, alright, I enjoy the fan service, don't get me wrong, but there wasn't that much to the first Fire Emblem Warriors game. And then I really did like Three Hopes a lot. Although not enough to play all the routes, as it still takes forever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Whack these reinforcements. Ah, you tried to play Fire Emblem 1 on Switch. I 100% understand bouncing off that game. If you are interested in retro Fire Emblems, I would be happy to give you recommendations. I think almost all of them are more fun than that one. Fire Emblem 1 is just old. I'm sure I probably would have loved it when it came out, but it's like, it's old and it feels old. Unironically, even FE2. I like FE2. But I would probably not give that as a recommendation to most people. But I enjoy FE2 for its weirdness. And that's fair. I mean, if you don't have a computer, there's not too much you can do. But if you ever do have a computer and you're interested in emulating the old ones, feel free to DM me. I'd be happy to walk you through it. What the emulation process that is. You're a big Warriors game fan? I like them. I played Dynasty Warriors a lot when I was a kid. And I'm glad that they, like, do all the... Oh my goodness. Can't nobody hit this guy. He's invincible. But he cannot beat the dragon. Do I have a Discord server? No, but maybe I should make one. Yeah, maybe I'll make one tonight. I've been thinking about that, and I've just kind of been procrastinating. But now that someone's asked about it, maybe I'll actually make one. Oh, see, I actually think Amber is pretty good. I wish he were... I don't like him that much as a character. But as a unit, I think he's pretty decent. Oh, I'm curious, just Chica, if you taught a friend to emulate today, what are they emulating? What is their first emulated game? Hi, the belt. Yeah, I like it. I don't think Etier is the best, but I do like her. So, just trying to give her a little play in this one, but I'm thinking about whether to keep her on the team or not. I think Amber makes a bad impression on his recruitment map, but I think his stats are totally serviceable. I think he I think he can be used. He'll alpaca a punch. Very good. Ooh, XD Gale of Darkness. That's a blast from the past. I remember loving that game when I was a kid. In terms of emblem rings, if I remember correctly, and don't quote me on this because I have not used Amber that much, but I've looked at his stats a fair amount. His strength is fine. I remember his speed being a problem. I mean, not like a disaster, but like you probably want to make him a little faster. So you could use Lucina, you could just throw speed +3 on him from Lyn, but you probably want to get him a little speed help. But other than that, I don't think he has any particular major needs. Like, I think you can throw most physical emblems on him and he'll do fine.
I am guided by the emblems.
I mean, you can always do the generic make physical unit good strat of, you know, making him a warrior, or you can make him a hero for, what's it called, Brave Assist. And both of those will definitely make him useful. To deal with you guys. Hammer, Killing Edge. He should be fine. Even if there's a crit, she has a second life from Tiki, so... Any ideas for what chapters they'll use for Chrom and Veronica's maps? That's a good question. Let me think about that. I have no idea for what they'll do for Veronica, because Veronica is in, you know, Heroes, and I haven't played a lot of Heroes. But I think they might use the map where you fight Gangrel. I think that would be a good... I think it's going to be something from the first arc of the game, because I think after that, Robin kind of becomes the main character, so I think they'll use the map from earlier on. Is that chapter 10? Is that the Gangrel chapter? That sounds right. For Veronica, you have to navigate to an emulated app store and download her. Actually, you have to pay like 500 gold to roll on a slot sheen, and you have a 2% chance of rolling a 5-star Veronica. Although, you know what? Maybe it's not going to be a map from the beginning, because it's not just Chrom. Robin's in it too. So, I don't know. They could use a map from really any point of the game. I still think, like the Gangrel chapter, or maybe the Say Her Name chapter, or the Don't Speak Her Name chapter. But I have unconvinced myself that it has to be one from the beginning of the game.
Is it go time?
Yeah, you could do the Valadar. Make them do the military, please no. Don't make me do it again. did I need to move him up one more? Yeah, he is a javelin. Ah, but he's a knight, so he's one of like the 4 units in the game that is not going to double citrine. And we are blessed for that. I don't care if these guys get poisoned. They're not going to be in melee combat. I'm curious if we'll have Veronica interact with anyone since all the DLC stuff has had a combo emblem boost. Yeah, I'm trying to think who she could talk to. Oh, wow, she got hit. I guess they could do for Veronica, like Anna is a character she would know. That's not an emblem, but they could give them special dialogue anyway. Okay, so that doesn't kill, but I bet it will if I get a little bit more momentum. Yeah.
There is nothing to fear.
Tank a little bit more, but I think we should be okay.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, I was surprised that Alir never turns into a dragon. Kind of funny that that never happens. I would enjoy Aniception. I don't think we're gonna get any more emblems, but I hope that we do. I kind of doubt it, but I hope that we do, because there's like a bunch of characters that I would love to see in emblem form. The only thing I could think is maybe there could be one in the 4th wave of in like the new story in the 4th wave DLC that maybe they haven't announced yet, but I think probably what we've seen is what we're gonna get. Well, actually, she's gonna break, so this is fine. And we'll replenish our Tiki emblem. I did not know that Tiki has a Dragon Dance with Sea Doll. I'll have to check that out when I do it. What about Emblem Zero? They hinted at that. That's true. I mean, I guess it depends what you think Emblem Zero is. Obviously, we don't know for sure. My thought was that I think it's Alir, or maybe a different timeline version of Alir. But other theories that I've heard include Henri, Sami, and my personal favorite, Kaga. Oliver Emblem when? That's just Fire Emblem 10, my man. We already got Oliver Emblem.
It's about...
Alright. I'm gonna, like, maybe get this chest if it's convenient. I'm almost sure there is nothing of value in it. Pretty sure it's a worthless chest. Fire Emblem Zero is the player, Nintendo takes you into the game. I could go for that. I could be isekai'd into Fire Emblem, why not? But these guys are all gonna get poisoned, rip. Oh, I don't care though on 2 of them. I care a little bit that Alir is gonna get poisoned, but the rest it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm just gonna bait Hector out here. I don't care about this chest. There is nothing I need in it. How far does Hector actually go? Not that far. Alright, archers, come in here. Come in here and don't hurt Chloe, who I just put in the poison range like a dummy. I always forget about the poison. If I remember correctly, I believe the sales were pretty good for this game. Oh good, and I got a magic level up. We're making her a warrior this game, but I'm planning to stick the radiant bow on her, so I still want her to get some magic level ups. Are you guys using wind magic? How dare. Can you get wind magic from over here? You sure can. We might actually have to back up. Backing up. Backing up. Ooh, Ulcris may not be able to back up sufficiently. Here, I'm gonna take advantage of her having an extra life from Tiki here. We'll clear a stack of the poison. You hate Pegasus Knights? Explain your reasoning. What is the beef with Pegasus Knights? And then I will judge you accordingly.
Enough chit chat. How's that?
Oh, maybe Chloe is ahead enough that she just doesn't care about archers. Joke's on you, I got 9 lives like a cat. Oh, we can totally just give her more lives. One, two, three, four. This feels like a very goofy way to address this problem, but it's kind of funny. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's hitting all the way over here? Well, this is fine.
Tiki!
Mama!
I'll be good. There! Thank you.
Getting some good experience on Lapis this chapter. The stereotypical Pegasus Knight usually gets weighed down with any half-decent weapon and can't survive more than a hit or two. That's true, they're definitely wimpy.
A right and proper
Or wimpy in terms of bulk. And they got noodle arms. Although I find most Fire Emblem games have at least one Pegasus Knight that does, that gives you good returns in combat. Even if it's not generally all of them.
I'm getting hungry.
Bro, nobody cares that you're hungry. We're trying to win a war here. Get some perspective, Chloe. Yeah, I'm trying to think, even in, like, Fire Emblem games where the flyer is just not good at combat, like, in Thracia, you have Karen, who is certainly not a combat god, but just what she does is still pretty important. That's not going to be a good place for you. You care that Chloe is hungry? Okay, that's fair. If I shouldn't have said nobody cares. I'm sure Chloe appreciates it. Oh, I hope this is okay. I didn't realize I was out of Micaiah. I was planning this turn around being able to do a big obstruct, but I can't. Which makes this a little dicey. Mistakes were made. She's being so brave about it. Very good. Yeah, Gaiden is a good example of Pegasus being God's gift to Earth, for sure. Okay. We might have to redo this turn. I didn't realize I didn't have the AoE obstruct ready. My man hit a 2% crit? Come on! Ah! F in chat for Louis. And I would agree, Wyvern Knights do generally do what Pegasus... I would say Wyvern is generally a better class than Pegasus, but usually you don't get so many Wyverns that, like, usually Pegasus are still relevant. I'm assuming he doesn't, like, count as armored, right? He just has a lot of defense. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna do it with the spear. Yeah, Tanith is pretty cracked in Fire Emblem 9. It's only really been recently where you can get, like, as many Draco Knights as you want. It used to be that you really had to decide on your priorities. Okay, I still want to use the obstruct staff. I'd put it right here. See, 3 on 8 speed. So Alcris might be able to bait him into attacking over here, which would be convenient for us. I'm trying to think if we've done different things such that there's not going to be a 2% crit this time, or if we've rolled the exact same number of dice. We're gonna find out. Hector might get another crit. Let's see, Marnie is cute. I like the bows on her armor. I think the dynamic Mavier would have been interesting to explore. Oh, interesting. He's doing this time. I wonder what changed for him. I think the problem with the Hounds is they waited too long to start making them actually be characters. Because at the end, they start giving them a bunch of characterization, but then they either, like... I mean, usually they die, is what happens. But... I think they just needed to start doing that a little sooner than they did. It works for Mavier because then he becomes a character and then, like, you know, you get, like, supports and stuff. So he gets a little more time to be characterized. But some of the, you know, the other Hounds don't necessarily get that luxury. Actually, do I even need Obstruct? Can you get to anybody but Chloe? Probably not, right? Yeah. Okay, hand axe is already equipped. Perfect. Yeah, I think everything that happens at the end with the Hounds makes sense. I get the themes of family and stuff. They just took too long to start doing it. It's just hard to be sympathetic for Zephyia and Gris when they've spent the previous 90% of the game being psychotic. We needed a little more of endgame Zephyia a little earlier. Chloe carry as always. It doesn't actually matter if she gets hit. Dodge it. Woohoo! Yas, queen. Alright, we can probably at least get a health bar this turn. And get some more experience on Anna. Much needed. Okay, Etier can actually do a little damage. That's cool. But I only get to attack with one of them, I think. The Rune Sword has 13 speed. Because you don't get doubled if you have... Okay, okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to trick him. Or does he walk around this? Okay, yeah, this is good, this is good. We're gonna try to trick him. I'm gonna equip this Iron Bow and I'm gonna use Shield Gambit. And then my hope is that he is just going to fruitlessly use his Rune Sword. Alir has been, like, the biggest pleasant surprise to me in this game. I was not expecting to like Alir at all, but I enjoy how many supports are just, like, people in the cast doing something deranged, and then Alir being like, please stop being weird. Did it work? No! I didn't trick him. Alright, We're gonna try to kill him this turn, though. Alright, we have rewinds. Let's see if Anna can get the kill.
Thank you.
You go, Anna. Imagine being a legendary soldier and then getting dunked on by an 11-year-old. That's gotta be hard for the ego. See, I'm assuming you can't survive a counter if I do Raging Storm, right? Yeah, I didn't think so. You didn't even do that much on Houses Unite, huh? Sad. Okay, we'll be able to kill him with whoever, because we can just warp Ragnarok and then pick up the kill with whoever we want, really. You go, Citrine. It's still kind of dubious how Fram just talks about Pepsi Man sweat all the time. What a sentence, and what a sentence to be entirely correct and true.
I'm listening.
Yeah, some of the stuff with Fram can be a little weird, champ.
Okay, give me all you've got.
It's definitely going to take everything I have to stand up to that axe of yours.
Alright, we're gonna get Hector here.
I set out to
We're gonna
prove
get
to
him.
you, and that's what I'm going to do.
Good to hear. Have at it then.
Come and get it.
Not bad at all.
We did it. Yeah, the Divine Dragon class, I think, in combat is very basic, but
You
the
actually
Dragon tag is really useful.
I'm impressed.
Fram fans confuse you. I think there are a few things to like about Fram. Sometimes she can be funny. I thought her little cheer where she was like,
All I had to hold my
3,
own
2, 1, who's our favorite dragon? I was like, that's a clever rhyme.
No, we need all the strength we can get, and you've got plenty of it. I couldn't have
She's
gotten
got kind of a
more
cute
defensive
design,
with my allies
but
on my side.
ultimately I usually bench her pretty early.
I used to think I could protect everyone I cared about with nothing but my own strength. I couldn't have been more wrong. It was only with the help of trusted friends and allies that I survived the Black Fang.
Your friends must have
Yeah,
been-
Bonet definitely does feel like a character that AI came up with.
Talking about them fills me with pride, even now. I appreciate your determination and desire to forge ahead.
Does that mean you'll join us?
For as long as you need it, my axe is yours.
Thank you, Emblem Hector. I'm looking forward to letting you loose on the battlefield.
That's what I like to hear.
Fram rocks sunglasses. It's a high unstable PC. Hope you're doing well today. Let's throw the sunglasses on Fram and test the theory. I don't think I've done that. Was the Marinaleer support any good? I only saw the C rank, which I thought was, like, fine. I like that Wolf Knights, like, get a tail.
Right.
It is funny how they use Emblem like it's their first name. Emblem Hector, Emblem Marth. How are you doing, Pickle Man?
Oh, wow.
It is also funny to me that they were like, we need to do a character that really likes pickles again. We did it once, and that wasn't enough. We have to do it a second time. Emblem Narcian. What would Emblem Narcian do? What would his engage abilities be? Alright, let's acquire the ore from the dog mines. I don't know, the way that Clan likes pickles is pretty weird. It's not quite as weird as Hisame, but it's still pretty weird. In his first support with Etie, he's like, I keep my pickle jar under my pillow. And that does strike me as odd. Alright, let's see the sunglasses on Fram. Alright, I gotta give it to you. The sunglasses work on Fram. It's a good look for her. Yeah, we're not using Fram, but let's get her some sunglasses to wear while we're hanging out. That's the outfit, I think. Yeah, we're gonna go with that.
Be well.
Alright, I am tired of having dishes that hinder my stats, so I'm gonna start saving before I cook.
Welcome!
I've had too many Fs, I've been burned before. Ooh, speed +2 is pretty delicious. It's gonna be a tasty meal.
This merchant is also a great chef. I don't like knives much, but I'll do my best.
Where do you get the Sami fit from? It's part of the DLC. If you have the DLC, you just get the Sami outfit.
May I? Sure.
I also wish that you could have the... Woo! You go, Anna! Speed +3!
Meal.
Ain't nobody getting doubled in the next chapter. Except for Louis. He'll probably still get doubled. But yeah, I also wish that there were battle outfits. Someone made a mod that lets you have the outfits in battle. But I really haven't, like, touched Switch emulation yet, so I don't know to what extent that would be a giant pain to set up. We're gonna get, like, 3 levels out of this arena, I think. Or at least 2. Citrine's gonna level up, and Chloe's gonna level up.
I'm Citrine.
Hey, some people think Sami is the Zero Emblem.
I'm Amber, a royal soldier of Brodia. Why? I'm crushed, but you look really cool.
Thank you. I had a lovely time.
An 11-year-old can destroy legends and cook better than anyone in the army. Truly the carry that we need. I ship Goldberry with herself. Nobody else is perfect enough.
I will act as your opponent today.
I'll be your partner.
I lost.
I always do my best. Now and in the matches to come.
Ivy and Diamant, I do think, is a very popular ship. And I enjoyed their support, so I can see why.
I'm Lapis, a royal soldier of
Yeah, the Sage Evaporating the Tome is pretty cool.
Chance to shine. It's okay. I'll win the next one. Thanks for the sparring match.
Ooh, she just barely got that level up. You go, girl. Man, she really is hitting those magic levels. Okay, the other thing I want to check is how we're doing SP-wise. I know exactly what you mean, Silver. I did that with Jean. I made him a mage, and I had to reclass him because I was like, this feels weird. Okay, we can get Cantor on Alir. We can get Cantor on Anna. Dude, I'm psyched for Octopath 2, the belt. I loved the first Octopath, and from everything I've heard, Octopath 2 seems to be just like the first one, except maybe a little better even. So I'm very excited.
I'll be your opponent.
I am Sigurd of House Chalfie.
Somehow, I won.
Ooh, Alir was feeling very dodgy in that fight. Yeah, Persona 3 and 4 are definitely games that I want to play. I like Persona 5 a lot, so I'm sure I'll love 3 and 4.
Thank you, Emblem.
But at the same time, it's so hard to be like, okay, let me play this 100-hour RPG. Like, I feel like I really need to have a lot of time set aside. Oh, see, I have not touched the demo. I stopped playing the Square Enix demos because I find what happens for me when I play them is I get very excited. I'm like so psyched for the game, and then it like doesn't come out for a while. And then I end up replaying that section anyway because I forget what happened. And then I'm like, bleh. So I don't play the demos anymore. But it's cool that they put them out because I think a lot of people enjoy them.
Your gain.
I must say, Anna, I balk at the notion of allowing one so young on the battlefield.
Oh, you just started playing Persona 5 for the first time? Oh, I hope you're enjoying it.
Handle it.
I loved that game the first time I played it. I don't think I've ever finished a 100-hour RPG as fast as I finished Persona 5. I was like an addict for a few weeks. Yeah, I was the same way, Undead Necromancer. I was just like, at work being like, oh man, I can't wait till I get to go home and play more Persona 5. Super addicting game. Plus, I liked that it let me make Beelzebub. He was my late game carry. There's so many games coming out in the next couple months. It's kind of crazy. Like, I gotta play Octopath. I need to play the Resident Evil 4 remake. Probably gonna put a decent amount of time into Street Fighter 6. There's a lot of stuff. And that's not even counting the stuff that came out recently that I just haven't had time to play yet. Anna and Dimitri Bond. Oh man, I'm gonna have to get the Anna and Dimitri Bond support. That sounds hysterical. We'll get this up one more, then we're gonna leave that steel bow at 3. I believe that's when you start hitting the big diminishing returns on steel weapons.
I'll be here.
The Sami fursuit is amazing. Thank you very much. Best outfit in the game. I need to have someone use this Seraph robe that I keep forgetting to use. I gotta do some inventory management here. I cannot believe there isn't one furry on the Insist team. I don't know, how do you explain the wolf tail, though, if there's no furries on Insist? We definitely had more furry rep in Fates, that's for sure.
Hey, your lap is
Alright, have a good night, Undead Necromancer. Thanks for hanging out with us. Alright, let's go get Camilla. Oh, this isn't Camilla, this is Soren. We want Camilla. Your cat is taking up the entire couch. What kind of cat do you have?
This place is rather dark. It's scary, isn't it?
Even if there is a bracelet here, it might be hard to find.
Wait, I think I see it over there. Yes, that's the bracelet of the doting sister.
All right, I'll summon the emblem. Soar high, emblem of revelation.
Here she comes. A big one. I was gonna say it must be a big cat if it's all the way across the couch. I feel like that's the funny thing about cat ownership, is when you ask a dog owner what kind of dog they have, I feel like 9 out of 10 times they know, right? They're like, oh, it's a poodle or whatever. But half the time if you ask a cat person what kind of cat they have, they're just like, oh, a brown one. You know, I have an orange cat. That's how it was when we had a cat. I have no idea what our childhood cat was.
I'm the divine dragon.
I almost
almost can't resist someone who
Now I'm a
asks
lizard
help
person.
So sincerely. Almost.
And I do know what kind of lizard we have.
Which I promise to do, if you can prove your strength.
You plan to test me then?
What? Is battle not to your liking? Why, you're as gentle as Corin. Of course, it can be preferable to reach an agreement with words alone. But sometimes that is impossible. Sometimes you have to fight, even if it's your own family you're fighting.
What do you mean by that?
My sister was torn between those she was raised with and those she was related to. Even while wrenched between Noor and Hoshido, she showed magnificent resolve. She fought for peace and forged her own path, even though others resented her. Is your resolve as strong as hers?
I've always said if I did get a cat, though, I like the Maine Coon cats that are just like huge and furry. I always thought they looked kind of fun. Apparently they go on walks too, or they can, which I appreciate in a pet.
Challenge?
I do.
Sometimes I want to go on a walk, you know?
No hesitation. I like that. Shall we begin?
Yeah, that's the problem with, there's a similar situation with lizards where, I have some very big ethical concerns with the ways that, that lizards are bred. If I ever get another one, it'll definitely be an adoption. And I assume the same ethical concerns that I have with, lizard breeding probably exist in most breeding. Or we're gonna give Hector to Louis. Yeah, it's hard with lizards. I think they just require more specific care than people realize. So unfortunately, a lot of lizards do get abused, because you know people don't always know how to take care of them. Which is a shame, because often the care is not that hard. You just need to, you know, you need to know what it is and do it. We have a blue-tongued skink for whom the care is remarkably easy. Which is part of why we got him. I was like, I don't want to get one that has complex care that that I might mess up. I'd rather get the blue-tongued skink, who is adorable and who has very easy care requirements. But I'm sorry to hear that about the bearded dragon. That's a shame. But glad that, you know, you were able to give him a better situation.
Shall we begin? Allow me to start by showing you the power of the Dragon Vein.
This new terrain will give our flying enemies the upper hand. We better be on our guard.
Also, before we start this chapter, I'm going to take this opportunity to plug the new channel emotes. Look at them. Look at these emotes. Look at that lizard. If you want the emotes, you can get access to them by becoming a member, which supports the channel. Currently, any money this channel makes goes directly back into the channel. So you can do that if you want. Okay, but back to the map.
What a lovely scene.
This map, when we did this in the late game, it took so long, but I think it'll be a lot quicker in the early game. I did it on another Maddening playthrough, and it took much less time.
Understood.
That's good. I'm happy that you were able to give Gizmo a better situation.
Yes.
Me, right?
Here goes.
Here I go.
But yeah, it is unfortunate that sometimes people get, you know, pets that they're really not quite prepared to care for. I know that's also very common with iguanas because, you know, when you get an iguana, it's all tiny, but they're actually really tricky to care for. Yeah, the music in the DLC maps is great. I mean, I guess it's just the music from the Paralog maps, I think, but
Understood.
it's really good and it makes me happy. We're gonna give an extra life to Chloe, and then Chloe is just gonna dominate all of the flyer reinforcements. It's gonna be good.
You're my hero.
Yeah, it's certainly trickier than it is in Birthright. Ryoma does kind of break Birthright over his knee. I was a little I get they went with this map because it's the map that Camilla is literally the boss of. But I was like, man, couldn't we have done Conquest Chapter 10? And yes, going around on this map does take quite a bit of time.
A right and proper end.
Yeah, I get what you mean that it does feel like a cheap nostalgia bit, but what I've learned from this game is that when it comes to Fire Emblem, nostalgia bit, I am not immune to nostalgia bits. I'm addicted to the member berries.
I'm sorry.
Chapter 10 Conquest is the defend map where you recruit Camilla. And Takumi is the boss. I think it's probably the best defense map in the series. And obviously it's subjective, but to me it's the best one.
First one's free.
Although I think it's a little less competitive for me because I think I actually don't like some of the really popular defense maps that people like. Like, I feel like when you talk about good defense maps, there's two that people bring up all the time that I don't think are that good. One is the first defense map in Thracia, which I really don't know why people like that map so much. I'll have to when I play Thracia again, I'm gonna have to really pay attention to that map and see if I can understand where the love comes from. And then Radiant Dawn has the last map in part 2, which is narratively very cool, but I really think that map is just okay. Hi, Jeff the Jeff. Yeah, you do get Baruka and Selena in that chapter. And they're important. You need them. Oh, I kind of like the electric guitar. I can see where you're coming from, though. My big wish is I wish that they changed the enemy phase theme, too. It feels weird that we go from the, like, big nostalgia bait track to the, you know, to the generic enemy phase song. Refresh my memory. Which one is 313? Yes, Alencia's Gambit. People love that map. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm not in love with Alencia's Gambit. I think it's okay. It's narratively very cool, though. I'll give it that.
I will protect everyone. I'm getting sleepy.
It is a hype map. That is definitely true of Alencia's Gambit. The Micaiah defend map with Ike and the Lagoos. Yeah, I mean, anytime you have to play as the Dawn Brigade in Part 3 is a little painful. They're like, here's all these good units. Now go back to being the Dawn Brigade. It hurts me a little bit every time. This guy's got 11 sword. Fancy. Got 23 on 15 speed. So everybody can take a hit fine. Wow, even with the buffs, Citrine gets doubled here. Distance 11, 20, she'd be fine, right? Yeah, she would be fine even if she got hit. He's decently likely to dodge. The biggest problem with the Dawn Brigade, I think, is just that you, like... It's really hard to justify fielding them in the second half of the game, where you get so many strong units. Like, once the armies merge, like, it's tough for anybody but Nolan, really, and Jill. Well, that's the thing. I think you just brought up the big problem with the Dawn Brigade, is that it is actually painful to bring them to endgame. Like, in most games, bringing a crappy unit to endgame is not as hard as it is in Radiant Dawn. But it's a pretty big pain in Radiant Dawn to do. Jill carries by being a flyer and, like, the only character that's deserving of the stat boosters that you get. So, he just generally gets all of them and becomes very powerful. Although, even if she doesn't, she's good. Doesn't get all the stat boosters, that is. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you have to do, is, like, pick some favorites and train them. But I find even if you do that, some of them struggle. In my most recent playthrough, I used Fiona and Meg, and I was just like, what am I doing, man? This is awful.
right and proper end.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely opportunities to farm EXP late in, Radiant Dawn, but, like, anytime that I find myself farming EXP, in Part 4 of Radiant Dawn, I'm like, you know, why don't I just use, any of the units that are just immediately good and ready? Hi, Super Frubbles. I'm gonna do all the DLC at once. This is probably going to be the last map tonight, and then Saturday I'll tackle the Soren Paralog. Make sure you're good, right? 26 defense? Yeah, you're fine.
Simple enough.
Yeah, Fiona really struggles. She comes like a little later in the Dawn Brigade, and then when you get her back, there's a lot of swamp maps. It's hard with Fiona. But I like her, so I want to use her. But then when I try to use her, I feel like, what am I doing? I'm kind of curious. Can Chloe just, like, go aggro Camilla and then bring her back here? Will that work?
A right and proper end.
Yeah, there's a lot of weirdness in Radiant Dawn, which I adore that game, but there is definitely a lot of weirdness in it. As Sigurd says in this game, if this love is a crime, is how I feel every time I raise a bad unit. Valid. Look, it's hard out there for bad units, alright?
We'll be together forever.
Hi, Brooks. You're replaying FE9 now? I like FE9 a lot. That's unfortunate. I liked the story in FE9 a little better than 10. But I think I like the gameplay in 10 a little better than 9. So, you know, trade-offs. I'm gonna heal her after she attacks, I think. My heart goes out to those who enjoy the subpar. Yeah, well, the thing with Radiant Dawn endgame is, like, you can map out how many units you want to use. But then they give you so many cracked units for the end of the game. Alright, I'm gonna see if Chloe can aggro Camilla and just bring her back. I'm curious if that works. I think it would be kind of funny. Yeah, it's definitely a really fun couple of games. I think you'll enjoy them. Fire Emblem, or Tellius has a lot of my favorite characters in the series. I mean, thanks, Starslinger. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Appreciate that. I don't know if FE10 is the last time Fire Emblem tried to be about something. I think Three Houses has a lot of problems, but I think Three Houses is definitely about something. I think Fates tries to be about something. I don't know that it succeeds, but I think it tries to. Yes, we can aggro Camilla! Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, a couple of the routes of Three Houses definitely could have used a little more time in the oven. Especially Crimson Flower definitely feels like it's missing a few chapters. Oh, you have an Armor Slayer. Kinda need to kill you, huh? Catherine set fire to the village. Catherine can do whatever she wants because she's a girl boss, okay? We like Catherine in this house. Or at least I like Catherine. It probably went... actually, I believe you're, not quite right about that order. Silver Snow was the first one, and Crimson Flower, I think, was the last one. I don't think we know if Azure Moon or Golden... what order Azure Moon and Golden Deer were in the middle. If I had to guess, I would guess Azure Moon was before Golden Deer, since Golden Deer is just a copy of Silver Snow. But that's just my best guess. I don't have any special insight or anything. Yeah, she's fine because we can heal him. Which is my favorite Three Houses route? I think Golden Deer is the one I enjoy playing the most because I like plot a lot. I think the best route, just in terms of like being the most complete and telling the best story, is probably Azure Moon. Like, if I was gonna if someone told me they could only play one route of 3 houses, which one do I think they should play? It would be Azure Moon. I actually think that the Golden Deer route suffers a bit from being a copy of Silver Snow, because I feel like it doesn't, like, adequately embrace the things that make Claude interesting. Like, Claude doesn't really do much trickery, even though they talk about it all the time. I should have engaged last turn. I think, regardless of which route that you play first, I feel like the first route ends up feeling like the best one. Because it's the first time you're engaging with the lore, which is really fun.
You were beautiful while you lasted.
So there's a lot of fun stuff that you get to do on your first playthrough, and then it doesn't seem as fun in the second one because you already learned it in your first playthrough. Oh god, is there anywhere we can hide Citrine? Can't hide her, but I think what we can do is put her over here. And where did Anna go? Oh, here she is. We're gonna use Obstruct. Oh, can she hit her from all the way over there? Interesting.
I won't flinch.
Alright, you might be in a little trouble here.
I'm at 100%.
You might just have to do this in a different way than the way that I did it. Or it might be okay. We'll see what Camilla does. I do think that CF really suffers from its shortness. It feels like it ends really abruptly. I don't think it adequately goes into Edelgard's ethos, which ends up happening more in 3 Hopes. It's still good. They're all good. I like all of them. But to me, Azure Moon is the one that feels most complete. Well, if you did Golden Deer, you basically did the church one. The only real difference between them is whether, Oh, she's coming over here, making this real easy for us.
You're not an opponent to take lightly, Emblem Camilla.
Well then, it seems I have no need for concern. Sweet
Oh, maybe
dreams.
not. Hopefully this doesn't kill anyone. We'll see. Tell me your hot take. We welcome hot takes here. TD is the worst route? I don't think that's that controversial. I mean, most people will say that it's, like... I feel like when you ask most people what the worst route is, I feel like their answer depends heavily on how much they like Edelgard. Like, people that like Edelgard will say it's either Church Route or Golden Deer, because they're basically the same. And then, like, people that, usually people that are less into Edelgard will say the other one. In my experience, at least. I didn't love CF, but then I ended up liking her route in Three Hopes a lot more.
Won't give in.
And then I haven't seen too many people say Azure Moon is the worst route. Most people seem to at least think Azure Moon is okay.
Here I come.
But yeah, Golden Deer is a lot of fun to me just because I like their characters the most. I like Claude a lot. I think Hilda's really funny. We can easily kill Camilla this turn. I'm just trying to see how much experience I can finagle. Are any of the final maps particularly good? I feel like they're all pretty annoying. I would not say that I liked any of the final maps on Maddening. Below Maddening, I think they're all fine. I feel like they just didn't really rebalance them much for Maddening. Hey, Irony, how you doing? But I remember the first time I did Maddening, it was such a, like a system shock, because I was doing Blue Lion, and you could warp skip, like, the previous 10 maps, and then you get to the last map, and they're like, can't warp skip this one, gotta go all the way through it, and it's brutal. Yeah, that's fair, Brooks. I know a lot of people don't like
Is that
Rhea.
enough, Camilla? Do we need to keep fighting?
I enjoy her as a, I think she's a very interesting character, but I would not say that I like Rhea.
Resolve is as strong as I'd hoped. I'll gladly join you. I look forward to fighting by your side.
Thank you.
Of course. I appreciate your sincerity. You might actually succeed in shining a light through the darkness of this world.
Thankfully, I don't have to do it alone. With your help, and all our friends and allies, I believe we can make it happen.
Quite true. It is difficult to achieve anything of consequence by oneself. I never could have hoped to defeat my father all on my own. Nor could I have imagined making peace with Hoshido. Thanks to Korin and all of our family and friends, we were able to change the world. I hope you will always cherish those closest to you.
I will. And I hope you'll continue to share your experiences during our time together.
Of course, sweet child. I would be delighted to do exactly that.
Yeah, well, I agree that it is frustrating how you have to react to Rhea, but I would argue that the bigger issue with that is more the way that they did Byleth. I don't think Byleth needed to be a player insert, and I think it would have helped if they weren't. Or I guess there were two directions to go with it. You could either make them a player insert and then give you like a little more freedom of choice, or if they didn't want to give you like a little more freedom of choice and freedom to react to things how you want, then I don't think they should have made Byleth a player insert. Byleth's kind of weird. There's a lot of odd stuff going on with Byleth. I would argue Byleth is at least 80% a player insert. I don't think they would design Byleth the way that they did if you weren't supposed to project yourself onto Byleth, and I think this is illustrated by the way that Byleth behaves differently in the other media that they're in. Like, Byleth displays a lot more personality in all of the other games because the player doesn't have to project themselves onto them. Yeah, I disagree. I think Byleth is an avatar. I don't think just because there is a small semblance of personality and character there means that it's not an avatar. Okay, come on. The only player insert thing about Byleth is not the naming. It's also the only character you get to make choices for. They have reduced emotions that are added back in other media where the player is not making choices for them. They're the only character where you get to do the S support thing with the, you know, where you get the first person view of the character that you're romancing. There's a lot of player avatar elements of Byleth. The only thing they have that makes them not player inserty is that they have a small semblance of character, but it's really just a pretty small semblance. I do disagree with people when they say that Byleth is like not a character, because I do think there are elements of characterization there, but I definitely disagree that they're not an avatar.
Can't seem to get this right.
Hello, Citrine. Are you training with magic?
Oh, Alchrist! Where did you come from? Are you
What?
I see. My good...
That being said, I don't think it's inherently a problem that Byleth is an avatar. To me, at least, it's an avatar. But I think could perhaps have been implemented a little bit better.
No holding back.
I'm Lady Anna, the mysterious merchant.
Well, for one thing, Byleth has all of those except for customizable character. And even then you can do the dress-up stuff. But I don't think a character has to be visually customizable to be an avatar. Let's see who else gets the arena here. Give Etier a little extra experience, maybe? Yeah.
This should be a fun workout.
If I win, you'd better buy.
That being said, I think the issues that I have with Byleth are basically the same whether we call them an avatar or not, so I don't want to, like, you know, get into a big semantic discussion over whether You know, whether they're an avatar with the same problems I think they have, or not an avatar with the same problems I think they have.
Busting in once again. I'm Amber, the alpaca wrangling master.
The least jarring FE self-insert was Mark. That's true, but that's only because Mark is, like, not a character. I mean, if you start in Hector's route, you can literally just not have Mark and, like, almost nothing changes. I think it's really interesting seeing, like, people that are interested in a Fire Emblem 7 remake. I feel like there's two ways people talk about it, where people are either like, I want them to give Mark an expanded role, or they're like, I want them to take Mark out completely. And I think it's very interesting that those are, like, the two perspectives people have. Yes, there is definitely a very big gap between some skills that are super easy to proc and use, and then other ones that are not.
I know a few things about cooking. I do want the plating to shine. It came out as
I can take or leave Mark. I hope they don't expand his role. I don't need that. I also wouldn't really care if they got rid of him, to be honest. He just doesn't matter that much to me. But I guess there's no real reason to take him out. He's certainly pretty inoffensive as he is. In the remake, Mark is Lynn's imaginary friend. Ha! Alright, guys. The next chapter takes quite a while, and I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I think this is where I'm gonna call it quits for tonight. But I'll be back on Saturday to do the last DLC map, and then probably get into some of the Brodia stuff. Thank you guys for hanging out. It was nice chatting with all of you, and I hope you have a good night.